Hey guys, it's August the 8th and I'm still working away here at the walls. Both gable ends, the back one's almost done there now and the front one's coming together really well. For the most part, this was easy enough and a lot of just rough carpentry went into this, but coming down the angles here, I'm running into a little bit of difficulty. I thought I'd take you guys through that and show you again how this was all put together. So, try to film here and talk at the same time. Over here, what it started with was these blocks were put in between two logs, okay, and secured in place. Off of those then, it allowed for a flat surface that this beam could run up on the same angle as the roof and the logs that are back here supporting the entire roof. So this here runs up all the way to the peak up there, and then from that we came down with our studs vertical, right, coming down in. Now up against that then we put strapping. So now as I come down the angle, right here would be quite a gap that's not flush with the strapping here and here. So I've been adding strapping coming down on the angles like this piece here. Then I need to cut my boards to go on and cut this here angle. Now that's a pretty simple matter. I have one that I just keep here as one that I can copy. And then I set this over on top of a board. You know, line it up, mark it, and cut my angle. So that's easy enough to do. But then you get to spots like this here where we have this board that again attaches between our two logs like this here to secure the gable end to, and this protrudes off of the metal roof out like this, causing me to try to cut my pieces of siding around this. Now these here, after I put my planks on, these are 1-inch pine now on this end of the roof. On the other end we use spruce. Here we use mostly pine. There's a little bit of spruce intermingled, so it'll be interesting to see over time how those weather side by side. It'll give me a good idea of which is a better wood for this type of purpose. Here we then added our half logs or our half rounds of cedar over top of that in order to get a really cheap siding. And from there I had to cut these angles. This one here, I just had to shave a little bit off one side and a little bit off the other side. But then this one here was really difficult. Now these aren't secured to the wall, so I'm just going to take these back again and off. And up here, you can see first I had to cut my angle coming down this way on this piece. And then I had to make it fit with a notch into there. Now, not knowing anything about fine carpentry, I started off when I tried to put this into place, slide it in here, it was, of course, was bumping the seam up in here right away. And so I thought, okay, I'll start chipping away at this corner and make a groove for this piece of siding to slide into and then secure it onto the wall. But as it went on and on, I ended up with, you know, a 90-degree cut basically out of my siding here, which when it goes together with that, makes this here redundant. I didn't need this here chunk cut out of my 2x4 because you end up doing a 90-degree cut in your piece of siding out here. So just little things like that I run into that I'm not well versed in carpentry and I make stupid mistakes as I go along. But somebody, if you know carpentry at all, I would love to know how you are supposed to go and put this here, do your angle, but then also factor in something like that that protrudes at a different angle into that. because I find that I get really stumped when it comes to this. In order to do it, I basically just started with a knife there today, a cold steel knife that I have. Anyways, I'll do maybe a review on that sometime. But I started cutting it in like this here, just whittling wherever the contact points were, and I managed in the end to get a decent 90-degree angle cut in the right spot. Because that's the difficulty, is gauging that and figuring out where you have to cut your angles. But anyways, it's in there. That board now has to be secured, and the next one, and then once I have this in place, you just measure from the top again up there, up in here, just measure down, and after you cut your angle, and cut it off and put it in place. And these here cover all of the seams that are running up. So that'll go over that seam, and that makes it wind tight and water tight. And then I think it'll be less prone to rot having these cedar logs on the outside. So difficult video here to film on my own. I don't have my cameraman today, but thanks for watching, and we'll follow up on this. I think when the walls are all done and everything's on the exterior's done, I'll do another video. Thanks.